Okay guys, welcome back. So this is the last question for tonight's show. Let's have a look at it. The question comes from Dewey.
Hi Tenfold, it's Dewey here from the West End. I have a problem with this question. Could you please help me solve it? Thanks.
Okay guys, so this is a question that Dewey had to ask us. The question goes as follows. So given that f of x equals 3x minus 2x plus 6, Dewey wants us to find f of x by first principles. Okay guys, so we're busy working with first principles today. We know the formula. It will be given on the formula sheet to you. So let's have a recap of what that formula is. The formula goes as follows. So it's going to be the limit as h approaches 0 of f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h. Hey guys, so we know that we always need to write down the limit as h approaches 0. Otherwise, the marker stops marking at this point. So f of x plus h, we're going to have 3x minus 2x. So we're going to have 3 of x plus h. And then we're going to subtract 2x plus h all squared plus 6. And then a very important point, remember our sign, we don't want to mess that up. So we're going to have whatever's left in brackets. Our f of x was 3x minus 2x squared plus 6. And this is then all going to be divided by h. Okay guys, so the next point is that we're going to have to start simplifying this mess over here. So again, we write down the limit as h approaches 0. We have 3x plus 3h. And then we're going to have negative 2x squared plus 2xh plus h squared plus 6. And then we're going to minus 3x plus 2x squared and then minus 6. And this is all going to be divided by h. Okay, so let's carry on with this step over here. Remember, always keep writing down your limit as h approaches 0. And we're going to have, I'm going to write this out, just cancelling my brackets. We're going to have 3x plus 3h minus 2x squared plus 4xh. I lie. That is not plus 4xh. That is going to be minus 4xh. Careful with your signs, guys. That's going to be a problem. And then we're going to have minus 2h squared plus 6 minus 3x plus 2x squared and then minus 6. Okay, I hope you guys can see that on the screen very nicely. Okay, so we're up until this point here. Okay, guys. So when it comes to this over here, it's very important that you keep your signs. We don't make the sign errors that are very easy to make. Also, when you cancel out your terms, make sure that you're canceling them out correctly. Otherwise, you're going to get the wrong derivative at the end of the day. So let's carry on with this step over here. We're going to cancel out my 3x and my 3x. We're going to have 2x squared and 2x squared, minus 6 and plus 6. We're going to have then what is left, 3h. There is no other 3h. We've got 4xh minus 2h squared. So that's what we're going to write down for the next part. We're going to still keep our limit because we haven't taken it yet. The limit as h approaches 0 of 3h minus 4xh minus 2h squared divided by h. Okay guys, so we're up to a nice point now. So remember, this is the point where we can start factoring out our h, and then afterwards we can divide through by that denominator so that we don't divide by 0 to get an undefined answer. So this is a very crucial step, and make sure that you do get to this step, otherwise you're not going to be able to go further when doing your first principles. So if we carry on, again we write down the limit as h approaches 0. We don't want to leave that out. So we're going to factor out an h. We're left with 3 minus 4x minus 2h. And that's all divided by h. Okay guys, so now as I said, we can cancel out our h's. And we end up with the limit as h approaches 0 of 3 minus 4x minus 2h. Okay guys, so this is when it comes up to our point. When we're at this point in our stage of finding first principles, we've been writing down the limit as h approaches 0 the whole time. We can now take that limit, and when we take the limit, we stop writing down as h approaches 0, it tells our examiner that we're now substituting our value for h in as 0. So that's what we're going to do next. We're going to say then as h, well, as we take my limit, we're going to have then that 3 minus 4 multiplied by x minus 2, and my h is 0. We're then left with 3 minus 4x. Okay, so we can actually check this by doing the very first, well, using our differentiation rules. So if we do our differentiation rules, we're going to end up with 3 minus 2 times 2, which is going to give me 4. And remember, we subtract that 1, and that just gets me 3 minus 4x. There is another part to this question. It says, if we found from first principles, well, what is f prime of 3? So we've just found what first principles is. We got 3 minus 4x, and they want to know, well, what is f dash of 3? So we're going to have f prime of 3, and that we're going to need to substitute in 3, so we're going to have minus 4 multiplied by 3. So if we do this, guys, straightforward, we're going to have f prime of 3, that's going to have 3 minus 4 multiplied by 3, and I don't need a calculator for this. I've done my multiplication many times. So we're going to have 3 minus 12, and that's going to get me 9. So f prime of 3 gets me 9. That's a very important answer. And the next question actually asks us, well, what does your answer to B mean mathematically? Okay, guys, so we have this point over here, right, where we have f prime of 3, and it gives us an answer. Let's just have a look at what that answer was. 3 minus 12 is actually minus 9. Whoops, my mistake. Sorry about that. Okay, so what that means is that at f prime of 3, if we have a parabola and we have it at 3, we're going to have a tangent, and the gradient of that tangent is going to be negative 9. Okay, guys, the way I've drawn my diagram is a positive parabola. The question actually shows a negative parabola. But the main point of this, guys, so the main point of when you describe this mathematically, you're going to say, when x is equal to 3, at that point, my gradient is then equal to the answer that we found. And that's exactly what it means mathematically. Okay, guys, so that brings us to the end of our show. I hope you've enjoyed first principles. Next week, we are going to be going on to calculus. We're going to be looking at cubic functions, maximization problems, and you can send those through on our Facebook and our WhatsApp pages, our WhatsApp groups. If you want to win the TV, guys, please, it must be important. You have to send a question in with a selfie, and we will then look at who we can use for the show. Okay, guys, I hope you had a good one. We'll see you next week. Remember, from 5 to 6. Have a good one, guys.